Despite what some might say, big cat sightings keep popping up around the UK. All over the country, these four-legged beasts are caught on camera. And no, we're not talking about four-legged Fidos here. Are they panthers? Are they lynxes, pumas, jaguars, or another type of big cat? We don't know. But whatever they are, they keep on popping up, and they're not going away anytime soon. Welcome to Big Cats Caught on Camera, where we look at the phenomena of big cat sightings around the UK. So, we'll show you the clips, tell you what we know. And if you're watching us on YouTube, please like, share us around and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Thanks for watching. Now, parents see all sorts of things during a school run, but an encounter with a big cat isn't usually on that list. But that's what a Kent dad is convinced he spotted while taking his daughter to school. He claims to have heard a yowling sound and noticed some birds getting animated as he walked past some woods with his daughter. He took a look through some trees and says he saw a large patterned cat. He quickly got his daughter to school and returned to the area where he watched the feline for around 5 minutes. He said it looked like it was stalking some birds. The man said, quote, "I was so surprised. It was very beautiful, but also very scary. It was massive, I'd say 80 centimeters off the ground. At one point, it looked directly at me. That was very frightening. It was trying to get into a bird's nest, but they were flying at it to keep it off. Some other birds joined in, and I thought it would be safest to leave." Next, we're in Asquith in North Yorkshire, where an onlooker captured this footage of what is reckoned to be a big cat. It was believed to be double the size of a regular house cat and was seen in farmland. One passerby, who wishes to remain anonymous, claimed the creature was seen after a sheep was found ripped to shreds in a nearby field. And we think the creature might even be the offspring of an adult panther sighted in the area years ago. The witness said, "Not long ago, around my other backfield, I called the farmer because there was a dead sheep. They've never seen anything like it because it was ripped to shreds. You're talking older farmers, 70-year-old farmers, and they've never seen anything like it. And this was a huge sheep, absolutely massive. Something enormous had it." They added, "There are quite a lot of things on these moors which do make you wonder." The witness said they had seen the suspicious animal while walking along the private farm track. They estimated it could have been 4 to 5 feet in length and had stayed in the field briefly before disappearing behind one of the rolling hills. This sighting comes after other similar instances of potential big cat sightings across northern England in recent years. In 2017, in West Yorkshire, a golfer was left stunned when he spotted what he thought was a big cat strolling across the greens as he was about to play his shot. The man spotted the creature as he approached the 15th tee during an afternoon round of golf and managed to snap it before it vanished. He said, "I spotted the animal in the distance from around 60 to 70 feet as I was trying to make my shot on the 15th tee. I was golfing with a friend as we couldn't believe it. Everyone else seemed to be oblivious on the course." In 2019, it was thought that a large panther-like big cat was stalking a small village where several pets had disappeared. Fears were raised for the safety of children and animals after 5 cats went missing in a week and a dog was attacked by a panther or a puma. Forensic experts were called to the village in Cornwall and took a plaster cast of a paw print. Officials later confirmed the prints, which measured almost 5 inches, were that of a big cat. At the time, police and the RSPC attended the scene, and one local farmer also apparently discovered the creature's den on his land. Local man James Stevenson said there had been talk of the beast in his village of Harrow Barrow for a few weeks. When he spotted it, it attacked his Labrador, Marley, 2 days before the terrifying moment when he came face to face with it himself. James said he was in the garden with Marley and his then collie puppy, Maisie, when the beast struck. Here's what he had to say at the time.
The first time we noticed the large black cat was walking along the land opposite us. When we first saw it, it was carrying something the size of a lamb, and it was nearly a foot off the ground from the angle we were facing. We didn't sort of pay too much attention to it initially because nature sort of says that they stay away from humans, they try to avoid confrontation. It was only when I took the dogs out into the garden on the Thursday night, when Marley was doing his border patrols as usual, making sure his family and his home were safe, that he suddenly went down to the ground, and he came back over before I had a chance to fully finish calling him. His tail was between his legs. I knew something was up instantly, so I got him straight back inside along with Maisie here. And that was when we noticed that his front left leg was absolutely covered in blood, and he had some deep gashes on the front of his leg and in between his toes. The following morning after the incident, we went out into the garden to see if there were any sort of traces of what had happened last night. It was then that we discovered some large paw prints in an area of the fence that was slightly down. We contacted the police and the RSPCA, who came out to the property, and they took plaster casts of the prints and confirmed that it was in fact a big cat after sending it off for analysis. Paw prints were measuring 4.5 inches wide, and they were all the way around the boundary of the garden. The wounds are healing nicely on Marley, but the emotional damage he suffered from it is quite sincere. He's struggling with going out in the garden at night, and normally that was one of his favourite things to do. He finds it very difficult to enjoy it in the way he used to, and there's certain areas of the garden he won't go near anymore.
In 2024, a driver was left stunned after spotting a panther-like big cat in a field, then finding its prints. YouTuber Jeff Thompson had pulled over in a lay-by on a country lane between Great Whitley and Martley in Worcestershire. The classic car enthusiast stopped to take photographs of his beloved classic Renault 10 when he noticed something strange in the distance. He then saw a large feline shape lurking in the field behind the car and investigated and found its prints. The Worcester man said, "I noticed it as I started photographing my car. I think it was a panther." In the video he captured on his phone, he can be heard exclaiming, "What the heck is that animal?" A woman claimed she saw a big cat that was bigger than a Labrador roaming on old tennis courts outside her home. In early 2024, Annie Mitchell was looking out her window at her bird box while having lunch when she saw the creature. The 71-year-old went out for a closer look as it prowled around the now closed tennis courts near her home in Currymuir in Angus. She said, "My first thought was, look at the size of that cat, what a long tail, and how big it was. I felt it was bigger than any cat I have seen. I was about 1.5 bus lengths away from it. I went outside to get a closer look and was only a car length away. It looked big. It looked bigger than my Jack Russell dog. I thought it was longer than a Labrador, but not as high. I've not seen a cat that big before. It was certainly not a dog. Its movement was low when prowling. It was looking for mice maybe in the field." In 2023, a driver believed they spotted a black panther moving through a field in Wales. The footage shows a large, dark shape walking up a hill in the Colwyn Bay area. The person who captured the footage, and who does not want to be named, says they are sure it's a panther. The witness said, "It's such a privilege seeing an animal like that. I'm still over the moon about it. It was very exciting watching it. People have been talking about seeing it. Then I was just driving my van and I spotted it. I just slammed on the brakes. Everyone who has seen the video is very sure it's a black panther. It's jet black and massive, with a huge tail, and it's moving as cats do. Apparently, some black panthers were let loose in Wales in the 1970s, and some pairs have bred. I don't think they're a risk. I hike around here all the time. They are very solitary animals, and wouldn't go near us unless they really had to. A walker believes he spotted a big cat roaming in Dartmoor. The walker, identified only as John, is sure he caught a glimpse of a wild beast on a trip in 2023. He says he and his family were so unnerved by the sighting that they quickly left the scene. And on the way back to our car, we stumbled upon a half-eaten deer carcass. The walker said, "Whatever it was, my concern was that I didn't want it to come towards us. When I first saw it, I stopped straight away and told my family, 'Don't panic and stay where you are. I think there's a big cat or dog up ahead.'" It just felt a bit surreal and quite strange that my first thought was big cat. I managed to get my phone out and got a picture just in my hand before it walked along a bit and ran into the woods. It had a huge tail, which must have been a metre long, with some white on the end. Thanks for watching this programme on Shots or on YouTube. If you're watching us in Freeview, stay tuned for more authentic UK television curated from the hearts of British communities by journalists living in them. If you're watching anywhere else, please like, share us around and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Doing so helps us to keep creating content like this.